Hello everybody, my name is Foxo91 and this is World of Tanks. This is my vehicle in the moment, T-3485. Tier 6 medium Soviet Tech 3 tank. About the T-34, sometimes in YouTube I saw comments that the T-34 wasn't good enough from some kind of obvious idiots against the German armor. So I want to address also on this thing right here and right now. The frontal armor and the side plating and the rear plating of the T-34-85 is the same as the T-34. 45 in the front, 45 in the sides, 40 at the rear. But with this angle, around 45 degrees of angle, you will have 90 millimeters effectively. Yes, the 88 still can penetrate, but in the beginning of the Operation Barbarossa or whatever it was, the Germans didn't have the gun in a tank. The 88mm gun was a flak gun, anti-air gun. The turret, this is the turret after the T-34 began fighting with the Panthers and the Tiger. The new improved turret of the T-34 is with 90mm in the front, but as you see, rounded, so in places you will have to over penetrate 100, 120. Over here, if the shell is coming from this direction, over 190. 75mm in the sides. As you see, the turret is sloped and rounded here. 52 in the back. Let's be honest, no matter what kind of vehicle, if your turret is flat on its back, it will be penetrated, even by the Panzer III in this case. Guns on this turret, the guns which were available in reality: the 85mm ZIS S5385, the short barrel 85mm gun. Some tanks were made with the 76mm S54 gun, but these were guns which were, let's say it like this, on stock, and they had to meet some conditions in the factories to receive their food for the day. So yeah. Because this tank is with the 85mm gun ZIS S53, I'm going to tell you the stats for this gun in this tank with this screw, which it isn't efficient enough trained, but it will do the job. This was the reality. Average penetration, average damage. Armor piercing 126, between 160 and 200. My experience 164. APCR, armor piercing composite rigid, between 167 excuse me millimeters. Damage rolls between 160 and 200. My experience 180. HE 43 millimeters of penetration, between 210 and 350. My experience, good for blowing the tracks. Please excuse me, I must take the call. Please excuse me for that. Now, rate of fire of this gun with this vehicle with this crew, 10.6 rounds per minute. Reloading time 5.65 seconds. Aiming time 3.41 seconds. And dispersion at 100 meters 0.49. Which for Russian gun is good? Now, the elevation and the depression of the gun. Please excuse me, I didn't sleep for the past 2 days. This is the reason why yesterday you all didn't have any video. I was in my work. 22 degrees in elevation and 7 degrees in depression. Now, for some of you which are wondering why the heck only 7 degrees, well, let's say it like this. The gun breaches around from here, is beginning here and ends around here, and when you depress the gun, you guessed it, the breach is going up and it's going to whack in the roof, let's say it like this. Engine, in this case this vehicle is stock. The only difference from the stock vehicle is that I have the 85mm gun. The engine is V234, which we all know for all intents and purposes is 500 brake horsepower. Holy crap. Just for a second. Excuse me again. 500 brake horsepower, turn reverse speed of 39.16 degrees per second, which, if you do not all know, the turret is traversed by electrical motors, so it's power traversed. Yes, you can hand crank the turret, but there is no sense in this. If your power traverse is working. Whole traverse speed 33.12 degrees per second, which means a total of 71 degrees traverse into the turret, combined with the hull if you need to track a very fast target, which is plenty enough, to be honest. Top speed forward 54 kilometers an hour, reverse 20. View range 311 meters, signal range 483 with the tier 7 radio. About the significance of the T-34. Everybody with his right mind and who had stayed in history class will know this. In the beginning of the war for Russia, they had T-34s with 50 something guns, if I'm not in mistake. Just for a sec, I need to see this. With the 57mm gun, yes. Excuse me, I just haven't slept for days now. And because of the hull, the Germans didn't had any chances. They didn't had the gun on a tank which could penetrate 90mm of armor. Yes, the first T-34s had the nice feature if the 88 millimeter gun got a shell onto the turret and the turret just fall off. Never the turret flinks or flies off without the cases of Amorak. The reason, now think of this, the 88mm shell is around 60 to 90 kilos. You are firing the shell with around maybe 700 meters or 1000. I don't know now in the moment. And you still need to push off around just for a second. I want to see this. 7 tons. You need to move 7 tons. In this case, in the case of the T-34, the first version, you need to move 3 tons, and after this you will need to move 4 tons with a piece of lead with steel tip maybe, and you will need to push this off so much with so big force that the turret will fling off. There is no way. Now if you have an explosion, okay, when the tip of the shell impacts the front of the turret and maybe somewhere on the base of the turret and then explodes, okay. These maybe were the cases in which the turret was flinged off. And ammo racks again. The reason for the ammo rack, well, this is closed, and when the ammunition goes kaboom, you will need all of this energy and gases to go somewhere. All of your hatches are open. Are closed. And even if they were open, the holes into the armor were too small, and the turret goes somewhere. This is one thing. The second thing, keep in mind the T-34-85 turret does not stay on its place only and solely by its weight. It has a turret ring, which is with, if I am remembering correctly, 48 bolts with size 72 millimeter. Do you know what kind of bolt this is? No matter this. The T-34 was and always will be superior to every German vehicle or every Italian vehicle and so on which was made in World War II. Reasons: smaller with adequate gun, easy and cheaper to produce. For one Tiger you will have around 100 T-34s. For one Panther you will have 200 T-34s. Yes, they were cruelly made, but the Russian doctrine is this: if it's doing its job, it's okay. Now, I know some people talk about the quality in the difference. Um, yes, for me personally, the quality is something which will live on and so on. But when you're talking about tank, I don't know if some of you had researched this, but for this vehicle which is on the screen right here, the Russians gave 5 minutes of life. This was it, 5 minutes. Why they have to spend so much resources when this thing over here will last 5 minutes? For the KV-1 they gave 17 minutes. For the KV-2, 10. The average life of the IS-3 in battle was around 30 minutes. And this was it. These were the Russian doctrines. Every tank has lifespan in the battlefield, and they predicted for the T-34 5 minutes, for the KV-1 17, for the KV-2 obviously 10 because the big didn't, and then the IS-3. The T-34 was superior only in reality, only because of these things. Easy to produce, cheaper, faster to produce, and also it has, for its small volume, a pretty nice gun. This was it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If this is the case, you all know what to do. Max191. Bye bye!